Welcome to episode 141 of the Fully In It podcast. Are you currently in a season of busy? Whether it's spring sports that are starting up for your family or your business load has just simply increased, you may be feeling the intensity of trying to do all the things and do them well. This is the episode to listen to when you need a fresh hit of motivation and some practical tips to manage it all while getting more done faster. Welcome to Fully In It, a show for moms who are called to grow themselves while growing their families. Join me, Kate Saffel, a life and a business coach for moms, a homeschooling mama of 3, and a woman on a quest to show that our lives become even more meaningful when we remember why we are here and what truly matters most. This show is about going fully in it for you and the people you love by showing up powerfully in motherhood, entrepreneurship, in your home life, and for your family vision. Join me for weekly episodes that will inspire you to live intentionally and by your values, to slow down and truly be present to your family life, to make decisions that grow a profitable business without sacrificing anything in the process, and to become the kind of mom and woman you know you're meant to be in this lifetime. Okay, so before we get into the efficiency hacks that I want to share with you today, I want to give you one caveat. If you are feeling just incredibly overwhelmed, you may know that that is what is happening because you find that you're resistant to taking action. You really are struggling to push yourself along. Your brain feels cloudy, but at the same time, you may also be very much overthinking, and it's impacting your ability to show up in the way you want to show up. I have coached so many women on overwhelm because this is just such a common thing that we experience. And it's really just because our lives are so busy and we have so much on our plates. We truly, truly do. So this is what I want to tell you before we get into the tips, that if you are dealing with overwhelm, one of the most important things you can do is to shift the way that you are seeing yourself in light of everything that is on your plate. Most likely, if overwhelm is present, it is because there is some kind of belief around your inability to do all the things. And when we feel like we can't do all the things, we start to shut down. And it's just not a great place to be because we have families and businesses, we have things to do, and so overwhelm can really sabotage you. So what I want you to do is just think, what if it is possible that you can get done the things that actually need to be done? What if it could be simpler than your brain is telling you? And when you think about all the times you felt overwhelmed and then you did take action and you got the things done, didn't you feel so much better afterward? The worst thing that we can do is stay stuck in the overwhelm and kind of procrastinate and like putter around and do activities that maybe they kind of feel a little bit productive, but they're not actually moving the needle forward and getting done what you need to do. Just pay attention to that behavioral pattern. And this is where you get to really cheer yourself on and just say, hey, I don't really feel like doing it. I am going to do the thing because I'm going to trust that it is possible that I can get a pretty big dent into my to-do list. And I know that based on past evidence, I feel so much better once I do the things. And the more that you build that mentality and you get in the habit of just showing up and doing the things, it will get easier for you and your brain won't slip as easily into the overwhelm. But I am just speaking to you as someone who has experienced this personally, and I felt very overwhelmed the last 6 weeks or so, just with so many personal things that we were going through, so many challenges. We had deaths, which I traveled cross country to go to funerals, and my husband got in a car wreck, totaled our car. And at the same time, my business has seen an incredible amount of growth, which I'm so grateful for. And so I've had these conversations with myself, right? And I'm telling myself, hey, Kate, You are so capable. You can do all the things, but I really had to dig back into these efficiency hacks that I'm going to share with you because when your schedule is very full, you want to be as productive as possible while also taking care of you because we are not robots and you deserve to rest. You deserve to feel peace. And you're going to see in this episode, I'm going to be encouraging you to reclaim that for you, even if it feels like it is counterintuitive to getting your tasks done. So let's go ahead and jump into the first tip, which is that you really need to decide how you are going to use your time versus reacting to your time or letting your time tell you what is possible. So this is kind of a bit of a secret, and not everyone gets this, but I'm going to try to explain this here. Time is malleable. We look at the clock and we're like, yes, there's 60 minutes. But have you ever noticed how your experience of time changes depending on how you see it? For example, if you're really looking forward to something, time moves at a different speed than when you are dreading something, right? You've heard the phrase about like watching a pot and waiting for it to boil and it takes forever, right? It's kind of that same concept. So the amount of time it takes for you to get something done is not actually set in stone, and you can experience your time from a place of peace and groundedness and trust that it is more than enough versus frantic, feeling a little desperate, feeling crunched, just seeing time as never being enough. And if this is reminding you of money, we have very similar beliefs in these two categories between time and money. So I really want to encourage you just to pay attention to your thoughts that come up this next week around both time and money. Wouldn't that be really fun to see what appears for you? So we often convince ourselves that there isn't enough time. But what if you approached your day with the belief that there is always more than enough time? How do you think that you would show up to your day if you could believe that that was true for you? I know for me personally, if I hold the belief that there isn't enough time, I actually waste more time because I've already internally given up and I start these little micro sabotaging actions where I'm not doing what I need to do. But when I believe that there is enough time, I feel supported and I show up differently and I get the things done. So that is your first hack. Look at the way you see time, start shifting it, start deciding intentionally that you have more than enough. And honestly, sometimes we have things on our schedule that just shouldn't be there and that don't deserve your time. So I want you to I'm going to tuck that little nugget away for you. You can look at your own schedule and pay attention to the things you've been saying yes to that actually don't deserve your time, right? Because you get to decide how you want to use yours. This is the second efficiency hack. And you're going to think, oh, how does this make me more efficient? Trust me, this is one you need to be doing. I want you to schedule downtime on your calendar as if it is an appointment. Are you getting enough rest right now? Or are you pushing through, having a second or third cup of coffee, ignoring your body's signals when it's telling you it's tired? So I've been meaning to do a podcast episode on it, but the timing just hasn't worked for whatever reason. I always trust the episode that comes out is the one that's needed at that time. But I was planning on doing an episode on how I quit drinking coffee about 6 weeks ago. And this was when I had traveled back to my home state, so where I grew up, for 2 funerals. And I traveled without my kids. And I decided that it was just time for me to quit drinking coffee. I had been having some health issues and I was seeing the negative impact of my coffee drinking habit on my health. And I thought, you know what? I'm here without my kids. I can sleep quite a bit. So I gave up coffee and I started sleeping more. Apparently, I was really tired. Surprise, right? Because the coffee, it covers up those sensations. And so now, it's been over 6 weeks and I'm really listening to my body. And when my body says rest, I rest. But I try every day to get some downtime. I'm either going to go lay down in my bed and try to take a nap, or sometimes I'll listen to some instrumental music or something that helps my body relax as I lay down. Or I will take the kids to the pool and just lay in the sun. I'm not sleeping, but I'm horizontal, and that's pretty good for me to just be off my feet and to rest. So when you're in a season of busy, you need to fiercely guard your mental health, your physical well-being. We can push and push our bodies. We both know that. It's not necessary. And I think what will happen is that you'll notice that your efficiency and your brain clarity will actually increase if you aren't pushing yourself. So you're able to get more done faster because you're taking intentional breaks. You're allowing yourself to rest and reset. And let's say even maybe you work a corporate job, you're not home during the day. Could you go on your lunch break and go sit in your car and close your eyes for 30 minutes? Just set a timer. And what would that do to you, to your day? How would that support you? I think it would be so incredibly good for you. The final tip that I want to offer is to work in concentrated sprints. So let's say 30 to 90 minutes long, and put similar tasks together. So you don't want to mix home and business at the same time, like the example of trying to do your laundry while you're trying to write an email, while you're cooking dinner, while you're it's way too much. So for example, I may do 90 minutes in my kitchen zone. So that's everything that happens in my kitchen is fair game. And I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to put on music so that I feel motivated and I stay focused. It's not distracting, right? And so during that time, I may do things like empty and load the dishwasher, hand wash our pots. I'm going to wipe down the counters, the microwave, and fridge because goodness knows I have 3 kids who get fingerprints everywhere. I'm going to also process the mail that's on the counter because it really drives me nuts when I see a stack of mail piling up there, and I want to process it and deal with it. So if that means I need to pay a bill, I'm going to whip out my phone. I'm going to do that right there in the moment, take care of it, and then shred it, rip it up, and dispose of it so that the pile doesn't grow. And I'm also going to enter any family-related tasks that I need to get done in my task management app, which is Anydo, any.do, and I really love it. Maybe at some point I'll do an episode on it, and I'm not sponsored by them in any means. It's just the one that I have found that I like best. I tried Asana, I tried Trello, and you may love Asana or Trello, and I'm happy for you. But for whatever reason, they made me feel more overwhelmed, and Anydo doesn't. I love it. And I get little reminders on my phone. Anyway, it's a good one to try. I'll also put it in the show notes. But yeah, so I'll enter any family related to-dos. And I will also write down anything that pops up that's business related because my brain likes to run all over the place. And it'll be like, oh, you need to write an email. Oh my gosh, did you remember to reply back to so-and-so? I will just jot it down in that same app I just mentioned so that I can forget about it and not get distracted. The last thing you want to do is walk out of the kitchen, if that's your zone you're working on, and go to your laptop and start working there because it just decreases your efficiency. So keep tasks together. And you can schedule these sprints in your phone and build a daily habit around them. I think that can be very supportive. It also trains your brain to not be doing random things at random times. You can tell yourself, I know I will get to this at X time. And then you're not interrupting yourself all throughout the day. Because I don't know, do you ever do that? You're just in the middle of doing something and then you interrupt yourself to go do something else. We don't want to do that. That decreases your efficiency. And then in my business, it's the same thing. So let's say I'm doing a business sprint and I'm focusing on administrative tasks. I am going to process emails. I'm going to send receipts to my bookkeeper. I'm going to update my availability calendar for coaching, and I'm going to get my next email scheduled, because these all fall in the same category. Now, I did lie. There is actually one more tip. This is a bonus one, and it is to celebrate how much you accomplish daily. Now, I know that this isn't related to being more efficient. This isn't going to get you to move faster, but maybe it will, because we mamas are so hard on ourselves. And you are doing way more than I bet you even realize. You are so powerful. You truly are. But our modern lives are constantly bombarding us with too much to do. They can have you feeling like you're just not enough. This isn't true. This isn't true. It's not you that's the problem. It's the way our society is, and we are overscheduled. We have too much information. We have too much stuff, and consequently, it's just creating a load of stress that people 100 years ago didn't have to deal with. So we need to sometimes keep that in perspective, that we're measuring ourselves up to these unrealistic standards that social media tells us we should be able to do. So push back against it. Choose a slower life. Maybe this is your invitation to start peeling back the responsibilities, the things that you say yes to. And above all, I want you to have your own back. If you are turning on you, how much harder does that make your days, right? If you're constantly nitpicking at yourself, you're talking negatively to yourself, decide to have your own back. You get to love you. You get to support you, okay? Because you deserve it. You are so worthy. You are so special, and you are one of a kind. Okay, so that is it for the efficiency hacks. If you are loving this, you love mixing time management with family life and business, and you also want to live intentionally because you honor your family values, you honor your vision that you have, you're definitely going to want to write down on your calendar that my year-long group coaching program, Expand Mentoring Membership for Moms in Business, is reopening on April 29th. This is the space where you're supported in holding motherhood intentionally while you grow a profitable business. I'll teach you how to create a successful business that fits around family life, and you'll also be in community with other ambitious and intentional mom entrepreneurs who have big dreams for their families. This is the space to come into if you are ready to grow as an entrepreneur and as a mom. So you're going to want to head to happierandmotherhood.com/expand-membership to learn more and make sure you get on the wait list for the next round, as I will be sending out an email to the wait list first with access to early bird bonuses. Okay, my loves, I will see you in the next episode.